Once you have your cut pattern finished being drawn out, you're going to have me take a look at it and sign off on it. There should be zero space left over. Every single part should be accounted for. Okay, and I will sign off on it with one of my colored pens. Make sure your name's on it. And what you're going to do next is you are going to, once I've signed off on it, I'm going to give you a piece of foam board. Okay, and your paper will cover the entire thing. And I would recommend using some painter's tape. I will have some in the classroom, or masking tape will work, but you just want to keep that from wiggling around. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is transfer the pattern to your foam board, but we don't want to slice up this pattern. That's part of the grade, is to have that pattern available for me to look at. So we have a few methods that we can do. You can either just kind of line up your straight edges and transfer by drawing really hard, just really pressing down on it. Okay, and I did that over here for where you see the crazy dark lines. Yeah, that's where I've already done it. Okay, but it doesn't give a lot. So you'd have to be kind of squinting, putting your head for it. It's really almost impossible to see unless you're like inches from it. The other option is to do what I always call pumpkin transfer. Okay, how many of us have drawn a pattern or purchased one of those patterns from the market, and you tape it onto your pumpkin and then you poke little holes in it? And depending on your pattern and how tiny your pieces are, I use my dividers, because that's 2 pins, so I can double my ability to do this, put in twice as many holes in half the time. Okay, and by going like that, but you don't want to slam it way down in there. I'm going to do a different example. I'm going to push down really hard and kind of wiggle it, so you can see the differences in the holes. Okay, this is where I was picking it up and twirling it, or picking it up and putting it into the same hole from a previous punch, so it renders a much straighter line. You don't want really big holes, because when you do have your whole pattern transferred, you'll show it to me, and then I'll give you an X-Acto knife. And if you look at the slice of an X-Acto knife, the width of that blade, that hole is going to be on either side of it also, so that's really big. Whereas if you keep them nice and small, those won't be as noticeable.